A stuttering neon bulb threw ghostly shadows as the prison guard entered the cell. "It's time, Ethan. Your moment's here." His voice was nearly mechanical. Ethan Caldwell lifted his head slowly. Heavy manacles bound his wrists, and his face bore the deep creases of 5 years on death row. Yet his eyes held no trace of fear, only resolute calm. "I have one final wish," he said softly. "I want to see my dog, Thunder." The guard paused. Protocol was strict. Typically, inmates requested a last meal or a visit from kin, but a dog? "I'll check," he grumbled and walked out, leaving Ethan with his memories. Ethan shut his eyes. In his mind's eye, he saw Thunder, his faithful German shepherd, the only companion left after his arrest. He recalled the night he saved the pup from the shelter, how that dog had anchored him through his bleakest days. "Just one more time," he murmured. "I need to see him once more." 15 miles away, in a modest rural home, a phone jangled. Lila Grant, a young veterinarian with weary eyes and tangled red hair, answered. "Hello, Miss Grant. Warden Mitchell here. It's about Ethan Caldwell. His last request involves the dog you're looking after." Lila stiffened, her pulse racing. "Thunder? He wants to see Thunder." "Yes. Before." Mitchell coughed awkwardly. "Before it's over." Lila's lips tightened. She was convinced of Ethan's innocence. Over the years, his letters had poured in, each one filled with his unwavering hope that the truth would surface. She trusted him, but time was running out. "I'll get him there." 1 hour. Yet when she called for Thunder, silence answered. The front door was bolted, but a porch window stood slightly ajar. A shredded piece of leash lay on the floor. Dread surged through Lila. Thunder was gone. Her hands trembling, she dialed a number she hadn't used in ages. "Cole, I need you. It's about Ethan and Thunder." A brief silence hung on the line. Then a gravelly voice responded, "I'm coming." Tom was slipping away. Lila scoured the house, checking closets and under tables. Thunder had disappeared. She dashed to the porch, scanning the dark garden. A faint bark carried on the chilly night breeze. Was it Thunder? As she moved toward her car, a black Dodge Charger skidded to a halt in her driveway. A tall man with a scarred face stepped out, his marks hinting at untold tales. "What's going on?" he demanded, his gaze piercing like a hawk's. "Thunder's gone," Lila gasped. "The window's open, the leash is torn. Someone took him, Cole. And Ethan's running out of time." Cole swore under his breath and yanked out his phone. "Marcus, we've got trouble. The dog's been snatched, Ethan's dog. Find out who's responsible." As Cole spoke, Lila's mind flashed to the previous night. A black sedan had cruised past her house multiple times. "I saw a car yesterday," she said softly. "A dark sedan, circling 2 or 3 times. I brushed it off, but now," Cole nodded sharply. "That's our starting point. Let's go." Meanwhile, in the city's gritty industrial district, Thunder strained against a chain tethered to his collar. The dog growled low, ears twitching at every noise. The warehouse was dim, lit only by a flickering bulb overhead. A man in a gray suit lounged against a crate, smirking as he watched the dog. "Fine animal," he remarked, exhaling cigarette smoke. Pity he was in the wrong spot at the wrong time. A wiry man with icy eyes emerged from the shadows. The orders were to keep him away, not to harm him. For now, the suited man shrugged. "Depends on what Ethan does next." Thunder barked fiercely, yanking at the chain. Somehow, he sensed Ethan needed him. He'd fight with all he had to return to his master. Back in the prison, Ethan sat on his cot, gazing at a thin beam of light filtering through the barred window. In mere hours, it would all end. The cell door creaked open. The guard entered, followed by the warden. "There's a problem," the warden said gravely. "The dog's missing. Someone took him before he could be brought here." Ethan's breath hitched. What? Who? We're not sure, but we're looking into it. Ethan's fists clenched. His final wish, the one thing that had sustained him through 5 years, had been ripped away. But who would do this? And why? Cole's charger roared through deserted streets as he made another call. We've got a lead. A warehouse at the docks. Send backup. Lila glanced at him, acutely aware that time was their enemy. If they didn't find Thunder, Ethan would face his end without seeing his dog again. The port was shrouded in pre-dawn mist. Fog curled among the derelict warehouses. Waves lapped softly against the pier, and distant gulls screeched. Cole parked the charger in a shadowed alley and slid a pistol from beneath the seat. Stay here. Lila's eyes narrowed. No way. That's my dog in there. Cole studied her for a second, then sighed. Fine. Stick close. If it goes south, you run. They crept toward the warehouse. Cole pressed against the wall, peering through a grimy window. Shapes moved inside. 2 men, one in a suit, the other hooded. In the center, chained but defiant, was Thunder. This guy's in over his head, Cole whispered. Lila's fists tightened. Then let's make him regret it. Inside his cell, Ethan paced restlessly. He had no clue what was unfolding beyond the prison walls. But one thing was certain. Someone was desperate to keep him from Thunder. Why? Was it mere spite? Or something deeper? The warden lingered in the doorway. We're digging for answers. But I can't guarantee results. Ethan met his gaze. Please, he rasped. I'm almost out of time. The warden exhaled heavily. We're doing all we can. But Ethan knew it wasn't enough. Cole crouched behind a stack of crates, counting softly. 2 guards, possibly more lurking in the dark. Lila grabbed a rusty pipe from the ground. We can't wait. Cole grinned faintly. I like your fire. With a fluid motion, he tossed a pebble at the metal wall. The sharp clang reverberated through the warehouse. What was that? Go look. The hooded man drew a gun and headed for the door. The moment he stepped outside, Cole seized him, disarmed him, and slammed him against the wall. The man crumpled, out cold. Nice work, Lila whispered, impressed. Inside, Thunder barked loudly. He'd heard her. But the man in the suit reacted swiftly, aiming a pistol at the dog. Move, and the dog's done. Lila's breath stopped. Cole, however, chuckled softly. You're clueless about who you're up against. He signaled subtly, and before the man could act, Thunder, still chained, lunged with a ferocious snarl. At that moment, the warden strode swiftly down the prison hallway. Ethan, we've got news. Ethan spun, his heart hammering. Follow me. Now. At the warehouse, Thunder had broken free. The chain dangled from his neck, but it didn't slow him. With a powerful leap, he tackled the suited man to the ground. The gun skidded across the floor. Thunder, stop! Lila shouted, but the dog paid no heed. Growling, he loomed over the man, teeth gleaming. Cole stepped up and kicked the gun out of reach. I wouldn't move, he said icily. The man blinked, stunned, and raised his hands. You don't know what you're stepping into, he muttered. Cole aimed his pistol. Then enlighten us. Lila knelt beside Thunder, gently stroking his fur. It's okay, boy. We're taking you to Ethan. But then, tires screeched outside. Doors slammed. Voices shouted. Reinforcements, Cole growled. We need to move, now. Lila eyed the back exit. There. Cole hauled the man to his feet by the collar. You're coming. Ethan might have questions. Sensing Lila, Thunder quieted and followed her without pause. They sprinted through the warehouse, Cole leading, Lila and Thunder behind. Shouts echoed as men stormed the building. They're gone, someone yelled. Gunshots cracked. Ethan sat in a prison van, wrists still cuffed. The warden sat beside him, his face stern. I'm not sure what's happening, he said quietly, but a federal agent's found your dog. Orders came from above to cooperate fully. Ethan's pulse quickened. Where's Thunder? Is he okay? We're going there now, the warden answered. Ethan leaned back, eyes closed. He didn't know whether to hope or fear. What if it was a setup? But if Thunder was alive, there was still a chance. Cole swiftly bound the captive's hands and shoved him into the Charger. Lila slid into the front seat, and Thunder, panting, leaped into the back. Bullets struck the car's side as Cole turned the key. Get down, he yelled, flooring the accelerator. The Charger shot from the alley, tearing through the port's narrow streets. In the rearview mirror, 2 black SUVs gave chase. This won't be simple, Cole muttered. Lila glanced at Thunder, tense and vigilant, his eyes fierce. We have to shake them, she said, or we're in deep trouble. Cole raised an eyebrow. Hold tight. The Charger screamed onto the main road, blasting through a red light. Cars swerved in the intersection. A wall of traffic loomed ahead. Brace yourselves, Cole shouted, jerking the wheel. Tires shrieked as the car veered into a tight alley, mirrors grazing the walls. Behind them, the SUVs collided, metal crunching and glass shattering. That'll buy us time, Cole said. Lila exhaled, turning to Thunder, who sat alert in the back. The bound man whimpered. Let me go. Cole glared at him in the mirror. Not happening. You're meeting Ethan. The man paled. This is madness. You don't know who you're crossing. Lila leaned toward him. Then tell us. He clammed up. Coward, Cole snarled. Ethan will get answers. He pushed the gas harder. The van lurched to a stop. Through the barred windows, Ethan saw they weren't at the prison. Where are we? He asked. Mitchell chuckled softly. Had to adapt. Things changed. Ethan's gut twisted. A trap? The doors opened. Guards helped him out. Then he heard it. A deep, joyful bark. His heart raced. A furry blur charged toward him. A warm, familiar body pressed against him. A wet nose brushed his cheek, followed by frantic licks and a wagging tail. Ethan sank to his knees, overwhelmed. 5 years. 5 years apart. And now Thunder was here. From the corner of his eye, Ethan saw the warden step back, quietly observing the reunion. After a moment, Mitchell beckoned Cole over. They exchanged brief words, and the warden handed Cole documents. Cole signed without glancing at them. Mitchell gave Ethan a pointed look, then returned to the van. You're their responsibility now. You've got 48 hours before the case reopens, he told Ethan before departing. The guards followed, and the van vanished around a corner. As it drove off, Ethan noticed Lila, Cole, and a bound man in a suit approaching. His eyes narrowed. Who's he? Lila stepped forward. One of those who tried to keep Thunder from you. Ethan stood, his gaze hardening, shoulders tensing. Then he'd better start talking. They secured the prisoner to a chair in the room. Ethan loomed over him, fists clenched. Speak. The man hesitated, then gave a low chuckle. You think you've won? You don't know what you've just dodged. Ethan's stare was unyielding. Then tell me. It's bigger than you, the man said. Much bigger. Cole drew his pistol and spun the cylinder slowly. I've got time, but not much. The man swallowed hard. You think this was random? Your dog wasn't taken by chance, Ethan. He was meant to be eliminated. Lila frowned. Why? The man's jaw locked. Then Thunder stepped forward, teeth bared, his growl chilling the air. The man flinched, fear sparking in his eyes. Because that dog's carrying something. Something no one's supposed to find. Ethan's stomach knotted. Thunder, he whispered. He knelt beside the dog. Thunder tilted his head, as if sensing Ethan's search. Ethan's fingers sifted through the thick fur until he felt something hard. His hands shook as he extracted a tiny flash drive, tucked beneath the collar's buckle. Ethan's gaze snapped to the man. What's on this? The man smirked. The truth. Ethan stared at the drive in his palm. 5 years in a cell, 5 years clinging to hope for justice. and now he held something tangible. Lila shot Cole a concerned glance. "We need to see what's on it." Cole nodded. "I know a safe place for that." He aimed his gun at the prisoner. "But first, he talks." The man leaned back, sighing. "I'm just a middleman. You're up against something massive." Ethan's patience snapped. "Tell me what's on the drive, or you'll wish you had." The man glanced at Thunder's teeth and muttered, "Bank records. Clandestine deals. Names of people who wanted you dead. You're not just innocent, Ethan. You're the one thing standing in the way of people who'd lose millions if you survived." Ethan's jaw clenched painfully. He'd always suspected he was a pawn. "Who's behind it?" Lila asked coldly. The man stayed silent. Cole cocked his gun. Last chance. A tense pause, then a shot. But it wasn't Cole's. A flash lit the window. The man's eyes widened. Then he slumped, dead. "Damn it," Cole yelled, shoving Ethan and Lila down. Another bullet struck the wall. Someone was ensuring the man's silence. "We've got to go," Lila shouted. Cole grabbed the flash drive and bolted for the back door. Thunder followed, ears alert. Outside, tires squealed. A black SUV screeched up. "Same guys as before," Lila yelled. Cole ducked behind a dumpster. "Then we end this quick." He fired back. Ethan and Lila ran to the Charger, Thunder leaping into the back. "Once we're clear, we go public," Lila said. Ethan started the engine. "Hold on." He floored it. 24 hours later, a news anchor spoke live. In a stunning development, an anonymous flash drive has exposed a conspiracy that nearly killed an innocent man, implicating top politicians and business tycoons in a global corruption scandal. Ethan Caldwell, set for execution just yesterday, is now fully cleared. Ethan watched from a nondescript hotel room. Cole stood nearby, arms folded. Lila stroked Thunder, who rested calmly beside her. "We did it," she said softly. Ethan exhaled deeply. 5 years of uncertainty, 5 years of pain. Now his life was his again. He leaned toward Thunder. "You saved me, boy." Thunder's tail wagged. Ethan's gaze hardened. "But the ones who orchestrated this, they're still out there." Cole smirked. "Then we hunt them down." Ethan rose, called Thunder to his side, and strode toward the door with purpose. In his eyes burned a resolve to finish what they'd begun and see justice through to the end.